Hi, good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Today, we are digging into the start of World War I with more details. So, what I first want to show you, though, is our schedule. So, if you go to your Sheltered World History Canvas page and you scroll down to Unit 5, click, and it will bring you, of course, to our schedule. And today's date is April 27th, so it's Monday, and you are watching this video. As you watch today's video, you should be taking notes. What you are submitting by, I'm sorry, that's a typo, by April 29th, here I can edit it right now, are your notes from this video. See, I will fix it. April 29th. Okay. So, my recommendation, what I think you should all be doing before you continue watching this video is take a look at the PowerPoint, look at it yourself, read it, and translate the words you don't know. So stop listening to me, look at the PowerPoint, translate the words you don't know. Now, you can listen to this video and either use the note taker, here is the note taker, or you can use a separate piece of paper. But know that you are uploading your note taker. If it's mine or a separate piece of paper tomorrow, the 29th by 8 p.m. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully, like I said, you have looked at the words and you've translated it and you feel really good. So the first thing that I wanted to talk was a little bit of a review. Now, the last lecture that you listened to, I talked about the 4 main causes of World War I. As World War I begins, there is already tension in Europe. There are already countries that do not like each other. And this tension is building and building and building until it explodes into World War I. And those 4 main causes are militarism. People are getting huge militaries and more weapons, even in times of peace. Alliances. An alliance means that if one country gets attacked, all of its allies, its friends, will join in the war. So again, an ally is an attack on one, is an attack on all of their friends. They all will join in the war. The third is for imperialism. As countries get more and more countries, more and more power, other countries get jealous. They get angry. They're like, I want countries too. And so we start to see countries fighting for control of more colonies and more power. And the last one stands for nationalism. And nationalism just means extreme pride in your country. And being proud of your country is not really a bad thing. That can be very good. But if your pride is too big, too strong, that you're willing to do anything for your country, then that's where we start to see countries hating other countries, thinking that other countries are the worst, are the enemy, and therefore they need to be defeated. One of the alliances that we see is called the Triple Alliance, and that is Germany, Italy, and Austria-Hungary. The second alliance is called the Triple Entente, which is France, Russia, and the UK. The Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente are enemies. They do not like each other. The powder keg of Europe was an area in Europe that had a lot of conflict, a lot of fighting. And one of the reasons why they had so much fighting, so much conflict, is because the Balkans wanted to be free, independent nations, but they weren't. They were under the control of places like Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire, but they did not want to be colonies or under the control of other countries. The spark is the fact that Archduke Franz Ferdinand of the Austrian-Hungarian Empire gets assassinated, shot by Gavrilo Princip. And that one assassination of him and his wife is what really makes this tension, this content, explode. And we officially begin World War I after Archduke Franz Ferdinand's assassination. Once the assassination happened, Germany tells Austria-Hungary, hey, we'll give you anything you want, a blank check. You need money, you need weapons, you need a military. We are your friends. Go ahead and fight with Serbia. So Germany kind of wanted a war to happen, wanted a conflict to occur. And ultimately, this leads to what is called an ultimatum. An ultimatum is basically saying you have to do something or else. And so the ultimatum that Austria-Hungary tells Serbia is you have to give us control of your government or else we are going to war. And Serbia, they reject, they say no to the ultimatum, and war officially begins with Austria-Hungary and Serbia. But because they are a part of all of these allies, all of these other countries join in the war. Now, all of that should have been review. If what I just said was very confusing, stop and go back and re-listen to the lecture on the 4 main causes of World War I. Or come and see me during my office hours every Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m. and ask for me to review. Now, we're going to take a little step back. What ends up happening after Archduke Franz Ferdinand is assassinated is all of the countries in Europe know that this is going to be really bad. So they first try and calm everyone down. Don't fight. Let's think of a way that we can figure this out without war. Can we avoid war? And the answer is no. Their negotiations, negotiation means to talk, fails. And it officially ends once Russia starts to mobilize their army. Mobilize means to move into place. So once Russia starts to move their army towards Germany, everyone realizes war is starting. And within 1 week, all the major European countries declare war on each other. Take a look at this. Boom. From July 28th to August 28th, all of these countries join in. Now, you do not have to know all of these dates, but there are a few things that I want to point out. One is that, look, Japan joins the war pretty early on. So you can see that even within a few weeks, this is becoming a global conflict, not just Europe, but global. The other thing that we are really going to talk about today is this: Germany invades Belgium. This is a moment in World War I history that really sparks a quicker, faster war. Okay, now, because historians are because history can be somewhat confusing, we have a name change. The Central Powers are now what the Triple Alliance was. So the Triple Alliance becomes the Central Powers. Same thing, different name. The Central Powers are officially formed and make up 4 major countries: Austria-Hungary, Germany, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. Okay? Germany, Austria-Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire make up the Central Powers. Now, the Central Powers, some of the advantages, some of the things that they had that were good was that, as you can see, from this map, they're the yellow countries. They're really center of Europe. They even are touching in some places, geographically connected. They're touching. Germany and Austria-Hungary have the same border. They're right next to each other. This means that communication is easier to do. On top of that, Germany has the world's largest army. It's massive. And they also have industrial capability. This means that they can build weapons quickly. They have technology that is advanced. And a lot of that is because of the Industrial Revolution, which we learned about in Unit 3. Now, on the other side, we have what is called the Allies. They used to be the Triple Entente, but now they are the Allies. Same thing, different name. Now, the reason why they are now the Allies is because there's a lot more than just 3. You can see a list of some of them here. There's even more, but here's a list. The bolded ones are the ones I want you to remember, the very important ones: Russia, Britain, France, and later on, the United States. But those are the big countries in the Allies. Some of the advantages or good things for the Allies is that they have the world's largest navy. Britain, which is right over here, has always had a very powerful navy, because you can see it's an island. So it needs to have a lot of ships and a lot of power when it comes to the seas and the ocean. On top of that, they have a huge population. Russia is one of the Allies, and they are a massive country with millions of people. Millions of people means more people for their military and more people to work. They also have a lot of raw materials. We talked about this from imperialism. Britain, France, the United States all have colonies, and these colonies provide raw materials as well as soldiers to fight in their wars. And the other benefit that they have is that they get to attack the Central Powers on 2 sides. And what this is called is a 2-front war. So Germany and Austria, the Central Powers, have to fight on this side and on this side. That's really hard for them to have to fight on 2 sides. So that's really good for the Allies. Now, I want to remind you right here that the 2 sides of this war are the Allies and the Central Powers. They are the ones that are fighting. Now, let's go back to what I was talking about with Belgium. So, war begins really with the invasion of Belgium. Belgium is this small country that is in between Germany and France. France is a part of the Allies, and Germany is a part of the Central Powers, but Belgium is supposed to be neutral. Neutral means you do not pick a side. You are not the ally side and you are not the Central Power side. You do not want to be a part of this war. You are neutral. However, Germany decides that they are going to attack France by going through Belgium. And this is known as the Schlieffen or Schleifen plan. Schlieffen plan or Schleifen plan. Now, you may be asking yourself, why doesn't Germany just go into France right here? That would be so much easier. Why do they have to go through Belgium? Well, right here, France, they already have their military. Along this border right here, both France and Germany have forts and weapons and tanks, and they are ready to fight. So Germany thinks that if they go through Belgium, they'll be able to sneak up on France, and that's how they will defeat them. Germany was hoping that by going through Belgium, they could quickly attack and defeat France, and France would be done out of this war in a few weeks. It'd be quick, easy. France, we got this. And the idea was that they would quickly defeat France, and once they're done with France, whoosh, they would turn all of their attention on Russia. Let me show you this map. This is Germany, this is Russia, and this is France. So Germany is hoping to go through Belgium, boop-a-doop-a-doop, into France, boom, 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 defeat France, done, and then be able to focus all of their attention on Russia so they don't have to fight France and Russia at the same time. Because fighting France and Russia at the same time would be very hard. So again, quickly, boom, 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 fight France, focus on Russia. In fact, they used to say Paris for lunch and then dinner in St. Petersburg. Paris is in France and St. Petersburg is in Russia. So they thought it would be super fast and super easy. Now, why do I keep saying now? Blah, blah, blah. This doesn't work well. This plan fails. And here is why. Germany was expecting Belgium to just back off, go through our country, walk through. It's okay. Feel free. But that is not what Belgium does. Belgium is angry that Germany is coming into their country. They are supposed to be neutral. They are not supposed to be in this war. So when Belgium sees that Germany is coming, Belgium fights back. And instead of it being an easy walk through Belgium, it takes a lot longer for Germany to get through Belgium. The first battle is called the Battle of Liege, and it is from August 5th to the 16th, 1914. And it's actually the very first battle of World War I, the first. And even though Belgium loses, it slows Germany down. And that is the important part. Some of the things that we start to see, though, during this battle is how prepared Germany is for war. They have these huge tanks. This one right here is an example. It's called Big Bertha. And they are massive, huge tanks that can fire and explode things very quickly. And they defeat Belgium. The other important thing about the invasion of Belgium is that it makes Germany look like monsters. It makes Germany look like the bad guy. Because Germany went through a neutral country, it makes Germany seem aggressive and mean. And we see terrible things like German soldiers killing Belgium civilians. Civilians, this is an important word, civilians are people that are not in the military. So I am a civilian. You are a civilian. My mom and dad are civilians. Again, civilian is a person that is not in the military. And armies, militaries are not supposed to kill civilians. Militaries are supposed to fight with other militaries. And so because Germany kills civilians, they're meant to seem as even more monstrous, more evil and terrible. But there are also stories that are created about Germany. For example, fabricated means fake. And we see stories of Germany going out and just killing babies and children. And the military was not targeting babies and children. But these stories, both the true and the fake ones, coming out of Belgium, make Germany look like they are terrible, terrible people. The third reason why the invasion of Belgium is so important is because this is what officially brings England into the war. And that is because of a very old piece of paper called the Treaty of London. The Treaty of London was an agreement between England and Belgium to protect Belgium's neutrality. Again, neutral means they don't want to be in any wars. And when Germany invades Belgium, this treaty starts. And when England sees that Belgium is being invaded because of the Treaty of London, they are brought into the war. And the Treaty of London, as you can see, is very old. It's from 1839, but still England comes into the war. Now, if you want more help, if you need more resources, if you're still very confused, I have 2 videos right here that hopefully will help. One is from Khan Academy, and the other one, I believe, is a crash course video. So if you are still very confused about the start of World War I and the invasion of Belgium, stop. You can rewatch this video, or you can watch these 2 YouTube clips. Okay, so the Schlieffen plan fails. It doesn't work. And this means that because they were fighting France and they were slowed down because of the invasion of Belgium, they now are also fighting Russia, which means that they are fighting on 2 fronts, fighting France and fighting Russia at the same time. What we are going to do now is we are going to look at propaganda. Now, I want you to pause this video and answer these 4 questions on your own first. Pause, answer these questions on your own. Go. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and now you're starting it again. So let's talk about this. What is propaganda? Propaganda is one-sided or biased information to try and get people to believe a certain story or certain facts. Governments are usually the ones that create propaganda to try and convince people to join their side or to understand their perspective. some examples, so propaganda is usually seen, like where I have seen propaganda before, is during times of war. But it can also be seen during times of peace. For example, during the COVID-19 epidemic, there has been propaganda from the president to try and have people understand his side. Now, what is the point of propaganda? Why does it exist? Again, it's so that people want to, propaganda exists so that people understand one specific side. It's to tell one story. And how does propaganda work? Sometimes propaganda uses lies. It can use emotion. It can exaggerate things. And usually propaganda, again, only tells one side of the story. And a very common form of propaganda is to use nationalism or patriotism to make you love your country so much that you believe anything they say. So what you are going to do is you are going to pick 2 propaganda posters from all of the ones that I have. See how many I have? Pick 2, and you are going to answer these 3 questions. 1, what is happening in the poster? 2, which country do you think produced or made this poster? And 3, what objective is the poster designed to achieve? That means, what is the poster? What's the goal? What is it trying to get you to do? So let's take a look at an example. Here is a propaganda poster. It says, "Remember Belgium, buy bonds, 4th Liberty loan." That's the propaganda. Now, the 4 questions are, what is happening in the poster? What do you see? What does it symbolize? So here's how I answered it. I see a dark figure, presumed to be a German soldier, holding a gun and is pulling a young girl through flames. The flames are a representation of Belgium burning from the Germany military. The soldier is most likely going to assault her or harm her in some way. The title says, "Remember Belgium, buy bonds, 4th Liberty loan." Which country do I think produced this poster? I think this is an English propaganda poster because 1, it's written in English, you guys, and 2, because the invasion of Belgium is what led the UK to join the war. And then lastly, what is the objective? What objective is the poster designed to achieve? What is this poster, this propaganda, trying to get you to do? Well, this poster wants English citizens to buy bonds from Liberty Bonds in order to support the British military efforts. However, another reason for this propaganda, a secondary purpose, would be to promote the view that Germany is a ruthless and will even harm children in their rampage through Europe. You may be asking yourself, what is a bond, Ms. Contois? Bonds are issued by a government or sometimes a corporation, a company, and it's really just a loan to raise money. So the government says, hey, wars are very expensive. Can you lend us some money? And that lending is known as a bond. So go ahead, look through some of these, and I want you to pick 2 to answer those questions about. So download this PowerPoint and look for 2 yourself. All right? If you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, have a wonderful day.